Hi friends. As I mentioned in my last video, which if you haven't seen it yet, I will link it up here. I like to take little mental breaks in between the more creative, mentally demanding videos. And last week's video was pretty chill. So as promised, today's video is going to be a biggin. Folks, for the first time on camera, I'm going to attempt for you a drag look. I've been uploading videos for over 2 years now. I think it's time that we attempt this. I'm nervous, but excited. I've attempted 2 drag looks before, but I've never filmed them just because it was too much pressure, and both of the looks I did to attend drag shows, so I really didn't want to fuck them up. But right now, I don't have anywhere to be. This is the perfect time to experiment. For my drag look, I have been dying to emulate one of the coolest drag artists on Instagram, and that is Miss Gay Matte. We're gonna attempt full illusion today, and I am so scared. But I've always wanted to try this just because it looks absolutely incredible once it's done. And for style inspiration, we are going to go with one of the most influential fashion icons of today, Snot Girl. She's always sitting in my background. You may have seen her once or twice, and I've always wanted to do a Snot Girl look, and I finally have the perfect wig. I'm just basically taking 2 video ideas that I've been mulling over in my head for a couple of years and smooshing them together. I think it's gonna be a good time. So if that sounds like fun to you, then please keep on watching and let's get started. I've always wanted to attempt a Miss Gay Matte look just because her illusion is insane. So I've been saving images of her, studying them, trying to really break down the geometry of her eye illusions. I don't even know if I'm going to get anywhere close, but I think it's going to be really fun to try. This is going to be the rest of my day. I will throw up the image that I am referencing today just so you can take a look at what it's supposed to look like. It's going to look slightly different just because of the shape of my eyes and my face. I think I'm going to have to make adjustments based on my own topography, if you will. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish this, but let's stop doubting ourselves and actually get to work. Let's zoom you in before we do anything else. I didn't want to put on the wig right at the beginning of the video because I just want to be as comfortable as possible so I can try and attempt this, because this is going to be a lot of sitting, folks. I'm still debating whether or not I have to glue down my brows. I feel like I should. So we have our glue stick and we have a spoolie. Let's get to work, hey? I've only ever glued my brows down once before, and that was for my Gelfling tutorial. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link it up here. But I didn't do this part on camera just because I felt like other people can explain this far better than I ever could. The tutorial that I followed, which worked really well for me, was Pompberry's eyebrow cover tutorial. I will link it somewhere in and around the video, just in case you are actually trying to follow along with this video. I doubt that this is going to be much of a tutorial today. This is just kind of for fun, I think. And I know some of you would be pretty choked if I didn't let you in on the process. Making sure that the glue is dry between every layer. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a couple more layers of glue off camera because this is literally watching paint dry. I will come back to you once I'm done. Okay, I believe that's about 4 layers. So I'm going to take a little break from gluing, take a little bit of my cellar water. So I think I might do 1 more layer of glue. This side's looking pretty good. This side's looking a little suspect. What I want to do next is take a little bit of loose powder, the yellowest one I have, to cancel out the blue tones in my hair. I'm going to take a powder puff and I'm going to dunk the powder puff right into the powder like so. And we're going to take this powder and we're just going to press it into the brow. If I were a drag queen, you know I would just shave these bad boys off. Definitely not perfect. There's an edge right here that I could have fixed. All right, I think it's finally time to tackle the eye. Let's just say silent prayer. And then remember that I'm an atheist, so let's move on. Well, first I should probably put on some primer, shouldn't I? What I'm going to to do first is try and sketch everything lightly with my brow pencil, just to get a map of all the shapes, because I feel like I have to do a little bit of mental gymnastics just to see the illusion while we're doing it. I think first I'll start by dragging down the inner corner. So the new inner corner is going to be way down here. And then let's sketch out the new lower lash line. Okay, this pencil isn't working, so let's use an eyeshadow instead. Then let's map out where the new crease is gonna go. Then there's gonna be a little bag right here. I'm starting to rethink my life choices, but that's okay. All right, so what I want to do is paint in the whites of the eyes. I'm going to use a bit of the NYX Jumbo pencil and a brush instead of going in with such a chunky pencil. I have a feeling this is one of those looks that's just gonna look really heinous until the very end. Okay, I'm just gonna take this small angle brush and a black gel liner, blend it out on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna define this inner corner. Just going to use this to line the top of the lash line. Basically, we're going to draw in a new waterline. So to define that a little bit, I have to do a bit of a more defined edge on the outside of that. Okay, and then take a little bit of white and just highlight right here. Now I'm just gonna actually take this shade Alter and just put more of that into the space here to mimic that tear duct. For now, I'm just gonna shade it with Relic right in the very, very inner corner. Then I'll take that same Alter shade in this new waterline. Let's bust out the Creepy Q palette, go into the black, and emphasize this crease. I have no idea if we're any closer to achieving this goal, but we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna bust out my Sugarpill Pro palette. Let's reinforce the whites of the eyes with some Tako. I'm gonna have to clean this area up because I feel like this tapers in a little bit more. So let's throw down some concealer onto the brow area. And then I'll take a flat brush. Next, I think I want to map out where my eyeball is going to go, which is such a weird sentence. Let's take a liquid black liner and very carefully map out where the eye is going to go. And this will be a little bit more believable once I have contacts in, so fear not. And then we're going to take a black eyeshadow on some brush, some form of brush, and we're going to set all that in place. Now to add a couple of different pops of white highlight, I'm going to take this liquid liner from Colourpop in Graceland. I really do need like a neon white liner to do this, but this is all I got, so I'm making do. His is just so sharp, and I don't think I'm going to be able to achieve that with what I have. So we want to give the eyeball a little bit more depth, so I'm going to take a bit of Tombstone and just really lightly place that on the corner of the eyeball to try and shade it a bit, I guess. And I'm going back over that with more Tako just to make it less of a contrast. Let me just take a little bit of black liner and sharpen this up just a teeny tiny bit. Alright, I think it's time to start blending some eyeshadow up into this area. I'm going to take my brand new Sigma E42, which is a precision blender, and let's take Relic again and try and blend out this crease a little bit. gonna try and block that out a little bit more. This time let's try this Paint Pot by MAC. Okay, and then let's take some foundation. We're gonna use the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation because it is the most full coverage foundation I own. Let's just throw down some powder to set that in place. The next side, I'm going to do things in a bit of a different order for sure. And then I'll take my new E33. Let's dip into Alter and try and just blend those edges a little bit. Then let's take a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit of Void, and we're gonna try and blend out this a little bit more. Now we're going to cut the crease just to give that a nice defined edge. We want this to be kind of a nice light shimmer on the lid. I think I'm gonna try Moonstone first. I want to slightly just shade the outer third of this lid. Take Alter again. And then I'll take a little bit of Relic as well. Just a tiny bit though. Alright, I'm just going to pop Diamond right onto the center of the lid. Let's reinforce that liner once again. I should probably throw some foundation down on this side before I do anything else. I mean, we might as well just keep going on this side of the face and then I can just live with the consequences after. Let's take a little bit of cream bronzer. And I'm gonna really try and shorten this area of my face by really carving it out. Alright, let's just set this side. Alright, let's take a little bit of Relic to draw in that new eye bag. I just want to add a couple of eyelashes on the bottom. I'll reinforce that a little bit with some liquid liner. Okay, let's go back in and put this white back in. I am fatigued. And now I just get to do it all on the other side. Fun times. It's probably like already, what, 10 o'clock? I'm gonna be here till like 2 in the morning. What I should try doing is mapping out a bit of a brow before we go away. I think I want it to be quite, oh gosh, wispy. I think I'm just gonna sketch out some little hairs. I'm actually going to take this eyebrow marker and kind of reinforce this waterline a little bit. Well, I don't know at all how I feel about this brow. It's good enough for now. Let's take a little bit of Tako and highlight up here. Let's just stop there. I'm gonna take a breather and then I'm gonna do all of this on the other side. Wish me luck. And then once I'm done all of that for you in the blink of an eye, I will be right back. And we're back. Managed to get the other eye on somehow by some miracle. And it looks okay. Again, I feel like I'm just gonna look crazy until the very end. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of my eyebrows. I keep looking in the viewfinder and I look crazy. Let's contour the nose. This nose needs to be snatched, like it's never been snatched before. Okay, and now I'm I'm just gonna take my damp sponge and kind of bounce this in and blend the edges a bit. Let's bake a little bit. If there is any time to bake, it would be now. Let's do a little bit of powder bronzer. And a little bit on the forehead, even though the forehead's looking pretty short thanks to the placement of my new eyebrows. Let me dust this bake off. I think this part is going to make me feel human again, or as human as this face can possibly look. Let's put on some blush. I think Sunstone from the Fairy Blush palette will probably be a pretty good move. Hit the nose with that as well. Let's use Contortion to deepen things up a bit along the sides of the nose. And let's hit the center of the cheek with that as well. Let's glow up these cheeks a bit with some Milani Luminoso. Let's just hit the center of the forehead with some ambient powders. Now, to add freckles or to not add freckles, I think we all know the answer to that. I usually bust out Jaclyn Hill for the browns and stuff when I'm doing freckles. What day is it? Highlight. I sound like a broken record with this highlight lately, but I swear to you, it is the only one I can think of that I want on my face right now. So I guess if we're going to keep with the inspiration of Snot Girl, which by this hour I've completely forgotten, we should probably do a peachy nude lip. I don't think anyone is surprised. However, I do want to try and really nail down the shape of these lips. And we're doing drag, right? So we gotta go all out. So really emphasizing the center of the lip. Basically, my mouth is just one big old circle. I almost feel like it's not enough, but I guess it's a place to start. All right, let's do a little bit of a combo. First off, let's start with the Meet Matte Hues in the shade Honest. All right, and I feel like I want to lighten that up with a little bit of Rusted from Noctex. It's still not quite light enough in the center. I'm just gonna dab on a little bit of Unbutton, which isn't actually any lighter. I just want to add a little bit of contouring, so I'm going to pop on some Versatile Chestnut. Lashes should go on now. I'm going to try starting with the Hoodie number 23 lashes and see if we have to do any additional lashing from there. Oh yeah, I definitely think I'm going to need a bit more lash than that. I just popped off camera to complete the rest of the lash situation just because they were giving me a bit of grief. I actually ended up stacking the Hoodie number 23 lashes with these Blades lashes from Likely Makeup. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking of keeping them together because this is a lash 10 out of 10 would wear again, just like to the grocery store or something. Last thing I want to do before I spray everything down and go pop in some contacts, I want to give everything a couple of white highlights just to emphasize the whole cartooniness of everything. And then I think I want to do that to the top of the lip here. Oh my god, I think we're almost there, guys. Let's spray this bitch down. To top everything off, while we're still a little damp, let's just take How Many Carrots, pump up this highlight. I'm going to attempt to put in some contacts without ruining all of this. I'm going to throw on my wig. I will be right back to show you the finished look. This is the final look. Once I put the contacts in, I knew that the illusion was going to come together. I didn't think my eyes could get any bigger, and yet here we are. I feel like if this wig had those like really fluffy bangs, it would be that much better. I haven't had this much hair since high school. Oh my god. So it's not as dead on of a match as I remember it being when I bought it, but I love this color green. So I do feel like it needs a bit of like volume in the roots. Where do people with this much hair put it? Like, do they put it in the front, the back? I have no idea. It is nearly 2 in the morning. I have been sitting here putting on makeup since 6 o'clock in the evening, but I really want to know what you guys think. Do you think I got anywhere close? Do you think I nailed it? Do you think it looks insane? It could be all of those things. I'm not gonna lie, this was extremely challenging. I don't know if I would do it again. I'm sure with repetition, it would get a lot easier. I'm not sure if this is the look I would go for if I were actually doing drag. I feel like if I were actually doing drag, my personal style would be much more in the vein of Gigi Good, maybe a little bit of Trixie Mattel. Those are definitely some artists that I would love to try my hand at emulating. I do feel beautiful though, in a very alien way, and I feel like that was kind of the point. Any actual drag queen looking at this is going to be like, her wig is tragic. I'm gonna go take some photos, then take all of this off. But before I go, please let me tell you all of the many ways that you can help out my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below on what you thought of everything. Subscribe to my channel. You better after all of this work I just did. You can follow me on other social media. I will leave those right there. If you have the means, if it is available to you, I do have a Patreon. I will leave that link in the description box down below. Also, updates from quarantine are much appreciated as always. And that's everything. I'm gonna go be fabulous for another 5 to 10 minutes and then go eat some macaroni and cheese and go to sleep at 5 a.m. Stay safe, stay at home if you can, wash your hands, and as always, just be kind and be generous, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys. I mean, is this a look? I feel like it's a look. I feel like